fire. What's up, YouTube? I'm Super Dan the Shoe Man. I gotta try not to be too loud while I'm doing this intro because he's here a week early. Trent is here, and I forgot his shoes. But I think we're gonna triple it on the way home from the hospital with the, what are they? The gold ones. The Royalty Jordan 12s, because that's the only pair that we all three have, including Trent's crocheted itsy bitsies. So I've got a video that I recorded a while back. Some of y'all requested the Super Dan Eats does some fish, and I made probably my favorite fish recipe, my oldest fish recipe, and it's just a really, really simple recipe. I think I said it in the video maybe. Sometimes I make some sauce to go with it, but it really doesn't need it. Oh, he's making noise. You can't see him yet though. But it's a really, really simple recipe. And before we go any further though, I gotta give you a word from my sponsor, our sponsor. This is Galatians 5:4, and the New Living Translation says, "For if you are trying to make yourselves right with God by keeping the law, you've been cut off from Christ. You've fallen away from God's grace. His grace is his unmerited favor." So we know that Hebrews 13:5 tells us what? That God will never leave us or forsake us. So it's not like he's actually leaving us at that time, but more that we've just cut ourselves off from his grace because we're trying to do it on our own, do things on our own, specifically trying to, it says, depend on our own efforts to gain some kind of favor with God. All of our favor with God came through Jesus. And so to stay under grace, all we have to do is continue to rely on that. So thank you, Jesus, for never leaving us or forsaking us, but help us to remember and just rely on you for everything that we need, for all of our favor from God. So we're going to be here at the hospital for a couple more days. Miguel just gave me a load of shoes, a pile of shoes to make videos on. I got 2 more shoes in the mail, so I feel like I haven't done this in a while. Just when I got home yesterday, I had 5 new pairs of shoes to make videos on. I felt like I haven't had a stack of new videos to make in a really long time, but I've got it now. They're gonna have to wait a couple of days, but I'm not gonna work for a while, so I'll be able to make some good videos too. And you'll see some videos of us going home from the hospital. So enjoy the salmon, enjoy the fish. I've got a couple other good fish recipes that hopefully we'll get to at least by the spring, because one of them is a fish I need to go catch. And this is the first video that I've recorded of some fish videos, even though this is a Super Dan Eats video, but there's a couple other fish related videos that I need to show you. So we do Super Dan the Shoe Man, obviously. I like shoes, right? That's how I started it. I'm Super Dan the Shoe Man and I like shoes, but I also have a passion for eating. So you've seen the Super Dan Eats for food, and I have another line of passions regarding fish. So y'all see some more videos about that. So stick around, watch the rest of this video. I'll get some more shoe videos out to you really soon, and hopefully I'm excited about getting back home, just getting this little guy back home, but also so I can go make some more shoe videos and get him in one of them too. So tell your grandma about these videos. Grandmas like salmon, right? Yeah, I think grandmas like salmon, especially this salmon is really good. Tell your grandma, smash that like button. I'll see y'all next time. All right, somebody said they wanted to see some fish, and Hesper just happened to get some fish. I'm pretty good at cooking salmon. This is a whole fillet, one fillet off of the salmon, Atlantic salmon. This is skin on, and it was like $10 a pound, which is a little expensive, but she brought it anyway. But it's Atlantic salmon, farm raised. I generally like to buy it. It's a little bit thicker than this, and it also, here we go. All right, there we go. That's, and so I like to buy it when it's a little thicker than this, but this is okay. And I like seeing a lot of white. I think that the white in between is typically something you see more on farm raised fish, but the white is fat, and the more fat that's in there, the better. Now I need to take care of this. First thing that I'm gonna do, you see I flipped this belly meat out. I didn't realize it was underneath. I'm gonna cut all this belly meat off. The belly meat is just so much thinner than the rest of the meat, that it's gonna cook way too much, way overcook when we cook the rest of it. Plus it's really, really good. And we don't need to give all that belly meat to the kids because they don't really appreciate it like the rest of us, like us grown folk. One of the kids is on the camera right now. And you like the belly meat, right?
No.
You don't like the belly meat?
No.
Oh, well, good. No more belly meat for you. But belly meat is delicious. I'll show you how I'm gonna cook that in a minute. I'm just gonna put it there for now. And I'll just portion this. That's probably a portion right there. It still has the skin on it. I'm gonna take the skin off because I don't want to cook it on the skin. When I buy these, I generally don't buy a whole piece because I don't like the tail section back here. The tail section is tougher. It's kind of like on a cow, top and back, or the further back you go, generally the tougher it is because those muscles do more work. 1, 2, 3. We have 5 people eating today. Peyton says she doesn't want salmon, but she's gonna have to eat a little bit. So I'll cut her a piece off afterwards. I'm not gonna portion it right now for her. And now I'll show you how we're gonna go about. I'm gonna get all these scales over here. How we're gonna go about skinning this. This is how you skin a piece of salmon. You get it from the top. Put my fingers on it to hold it. There we go. Skinned. I don't mind this. I just don't want the skin. I'm gonna cut that off because I want to eat that. Leave it right there. I'll make a little pile right there for trash. I'm gonna do the rest and then I'll show you how I'm gonna cook it in just a minute. I'm gonna cook it really, really, really simply because that's how I cook salmon. So we'll see you back here in just a minute.
Pause or end? End it or pause it?
You can stop it. I'm not worried about these little bits and pieces that are sticking. This is gonna happen sometimes with this belly meat. This isn't the fattiest salmon that I've ever cooked. And it's pretty much done.
That fast?
Yeah. When it's fattier, it generally stays together a little bit better. But that's gonna be really good. Well, I think most places, like, I don't ever order steak out. You know, seeing how much steak I'll put away, but I never order steak out unless it's I'll eat steak out at a Brazilian steakhouse. You all saw a little clip of the Brazilian steakhouse. Let me try this real quick. The belly meat is like bacon. It's just buttery and greasy. Really good. All right. Now, I'm going to use the same pan. It's got a little bit of oil in it. It's starting to smoke because it's so hot. I'm going to use this for the full pieces also. Same pan. I don't want to crowd this too much. But I definitely want all the pieces that we're going to need to eat right now. We're just going to leave this for a couple seconds. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. It's getting smoky in here. We're going to get a little bit of a crust on the other side, get it brown, and then as soon as we turn it over, I'm going to pour a little bit of wine in the pan and put a lid on it. And just salt. It's the only seasoning I'm using.
Would you usually put MSG on salmon?
MSG? Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of that on the other side. Those two. Alright, so I'm going to flip these. Try not to leave too much stuff. And I'm going to use a little bit more of this here. And really, this isn't that dangerous when it comes to wine, but I'm gonna do this anyway. And that's gonna steam it. It smells really good. Turn this off. Now, Hesper gets to try the better meat. Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, just grab a piece.
Yeah.
Turn that down just a little bit.
It doesn't look like belly meat.
It is. Why doesn't it look like it?
It's not gray.
It's fine.
Good.
Good? Oh yeah. Greasy. Only like exactly cooked enough. And that's another thing. I don't want this to overcook in here either. They cook for maybe a minute on that side to get the brown. And actually, I'm gonna turn it all the way off now. It's just gonna keep steaming a little bit. I'm gonna take my piece out. Hesper's piece I'll leave in a little bit just because she's pregnant. A little bit longer because she's pregnant. But we'll be back in a minute when we're gonna eat. All right, so here is my piece that's cooked a little bit less than everybody else's. I like kind of just flaking it a little bit. And we can see that it is not completely fully cooked. And that's just how I want it. There, you can kind of see it right there. And all I do with it, it's only got salt, and I think this piece is one with MSG. And now I'm gonna put the lemon juice on it. That's it. This is just store-bought, I don't know, tortellini, and some store-bought sauce on it. Let's see. Good. Use more lemon, a little more salt, and I'm good to go.
You're so pretty.
I'm so bad.
Juice. Ah! Shoes.
And I like shoes.